Well, there it is. We got it out. The 406 Pontiac is out. Uh, we're mocking up the new headers and kind of seeing how all that's going to fit together and getting some measurements on where we're going to need to cut off our exhaust for the new collectors and all that. And of course, it's the white 70 model. And there's the engine bay. And we've got it all clean. We're going to paint this last little bit. This wasn't painted during the restoration because I refused to let them pull that motor out. I just didn't want anybody else's hands on my mill. I've been the only one to touch that in the last 40 years, and I just didn't want anybody else handling it. There's the 2x4 holding up the trans. If you guys were wondering, well, how do you move your car around after you pull the engine out if you leave the trans in it? There's the answer right there. And that would really work best if this board was a 2x6. And you would put your two holes for your 350 turbo transmission, your two mounting bolt holes, 12 3/4 inches apart, about 4 inches up on that 2x6. And that board would sit there perfect without the use of the little blocks I used to shim it up to where I wanted it. So there's that little bit of tidbit of information. Yeah, it's easy. It's real easy to pull the motor while leaving the transmission behind. And there is how you keep the transmission secure, and you can move the car anywhere you want it to go. Over here we've got our carburetor, our 750 double pumper sitting under there, and we've got our starter. I'm going to do some little trick stuff with the distributor, try to make some little upgrades in it. Got our new ARP flex plate bolts, and we're excited to try to get this thing put back together. We do have one bridge we do have to cross, and that is I literally got down to the last bolt of the project, and that bolt rounded off, and then I decided that I was going to use a cold chisel and try to turn that bolt with a cold chisel, and it didn't work. All the other flywheel bolts came loose, but that one is going, we're gonna have to weld a nut on it and try to turn it. So that's the update from Shop Apache. I hope I gave somebody some little old something. I promised y'all I would never give anything out anymore since everybody knows more about this than I do. Somehow I managed to do this for 40 years and nothing but Pontiacs for 40 years, but I've been told I'm a moron, so I don't want to share too much lest somebody think I'm talking out my ass. But I felt safe in sharing the board information because that's just a pretty neat little hack right there. And yeah, surely nobody can find fault with that. I'm sure somebody will, but they're just keyboard warriors living in their mother's basements and mad because they have incredibly small penises. Y'all have a great day.